It's for the healers. It's for the thinkers. This for the men and women trying to love again. Scarberian Queens. Tanya 23 experience. Yummy Bula, let's talk. Scarberian Queens, we bringing truth to the scene. Not just opinions, we building solutions and dreams. From pain to purpose, yeah, we breaking old routines. Trying to heal black love, men and women in between. Scarberian Queens, let the ancestors speak. Motherly laws bring the village back to the streets. We ain't here to fight, we here to teach and to reach where we can rise together, soul to soul, heart to beat. It's the Tanya 23 experience, voice of the mothers, trying to stop us from seeing each other as enemies, brothers. Some of us hurt, some of us tired, some of us only know survival, not desire. I seen mamas cry, I seen aunties pray, I seen grandmas hold the family together every day. So why we forget where the love comes from? Why we treat each other like we already done? We here to remind you, not judge your pain, not point fingers but break them chains. Men need nurture, women need respect, and both need healing, not toxic effects. Scarberian Queens, we bringing truth to the scene. Not just opinions, we building solutions and dreams. From pain to purpose, yeah, we breaking old routines. Trying to heal black love, men and women in between. Scarberian Queens, let the ancestors speak. Motherly laws bring the village back to the streets. We ain't here to fight, we here to teach and to reach where we can rise together, soul to soul, hard to beat. Yummy Bula in the building, yeah, I'm talking that real. We ain't bashing nobody, we tryna heal. Men be carrying weight, women carrying pain. Everybody guarded, everybody strained. But deep down we all wanna be safe, wanna be loved, wanna breathe, wanna lay our heads straight. Every man remembers that nurturing touch, whether it was mama, auntie, or somebody who loved him enough. That energy don't make you weak, it make you strong. It's the reason you get up and keep moving on. We gotta stop thinking the worst of each other, start listening again like sisters and brothers. This ain't gossip, this is guidance, this ain't drama, this is science. Trauma lives in the body, the love is defiance. We can rewrite stories, we can shift the tone, but it start with truth when we come back home. Yeah, we ain't perfect, but we honest. Trying to teach accountability and conscience. Trying to show you how to love without armor. Not every woman is trauma in the form, bruh. Not every man is danger or threat. Not every woman trying to get what she could get. We talking balance, we talking rules. We talking healing, not viral abuse. We ain't here for clicks, we here for change. Scarberian Queens, yeah, we shifting the game. Scarberian Queens, 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 Queens. Scarberian Queens, we bringing truth to the scene. Not just opinions, we building solutions and dreams. From pain to purpose, yeah, we breaking old routines. Trying to heal black love, men and women in between. Scarberian Queens, let the ancestors speak. Motherly laws bring the village back to the streets. We ain't here to fight, we here to teach and to reach where we can rise together, soul to soul, heart to beat. This is the Scarberian Queens podcast, where healing is the message, truth is the medicine, and love is the mission. With Tanya 23 and Yummy Bula. Let's heal.
Yeah. Peace time.
Yay! It played today. That's what we talking about. Where is our... Did it go? Did y'all hear that?
Oh, yeah. I heard it.
No, low.
It's the
one. That's an explosion. Okay. Here we go. We came through the smoke like who's that? Malika Law? He appeared through the weed smoke.
Right.
I love that song. Yes.
Okay.
Welcome.
Yeah, peace.
Scarberian Queens podcast. We got Between Rounds. Hey,
yes, Between Rounds.
Sound effects, lady. I know we have new ones over there, but we need our traditional sound effect. Where did it go? Oh my God. There it is. Oh, Between Rounds. Peace, General.
Yeah, Momies is in the building.
Hey, Momies.
Momies. Salute.
Peace, peace, peace. Thank you, thank you. We got Moniz in the building. Yes, so between rounds said he's sipping on lemon balm tea with cayenne pepper.
Yummy.
Oh, wrong one. Yes.
Yeah, that lemon balm, that I heard
To
that
those,
was really good for weight loss.
they definitely shoot up them unalive them germs.
Right,
Y'all
right,
see
right.
how it's ramping up out there? People are like wearing their masks, and lots of people are sick right now. The symptoms are like body aches and really the nasal situation, and I think that's from what's being sprayed, a lot of the nasal situations. But yeah, my daughter was taking cough syrup for her throat, but it was more like a nasally type of thing. So yeah, definitely attack that. I got my sea moss and elderberries that I've been eating. It's so good. You can just eat the jar, but I have to be careful because it can be used for weight management and AKA weight loss. But so yeah, you have to watch yourself because you could then drop 5 pounds or something like that before you even think about it, because it, flushes you out and you go to the bathroom and get rid of 5 to 10 pounds of fecal matter.
Right.
It's really good for you though. I love getting rid of that,
Yeah, that's
really,
a great.
I could fast all day and then go and take a couple of teaspoons of sea moss and then get my jug of water. That seems to fill me up for a while. And then like if I have nuts or whatever, like my mixed nuts that I like, I could go most of the day. I actually went most of the day and I ate around 7:30.
Oh, okay, not bad.
So I usually get hungry as soon as I sit down to the computer. So far today I'm doing good. Yeah. I didn't bring no snacks, so that's it. All I have is halls up here. But yeah. Homie said I'm on lemon juice, cayenne, and distilled water. Yes. Dr. Irons fast. Okay, that's what's up. Where we got? Yes, everything is good that we are taking care of the altar, because your body is your altar.
Yep.
At between rounds, everyone should invest in a water distiller. Yeah, that's true. I was actually looking at one of those osmosis machines because it's the only device that takes out the plastic too. Takes out the nanoparticles of plastic. They were saying that we all have like a credit card's worth of plastic in our brains. But we are resilient because we are still thinkers on a higher level. So that says something.
Yeah.
See where people's mental is really being strained right now to even think about just everyday stuff, It was crazy. Moniz, he said, I have a question for you, Tanya 23. I see your hat. I need to learn more about crystals. Hey! Awesome. Always great. Let me see something here. So what I have on is just a crown of quartz crystals, but they're the rainbow color. So that's pretty much what this is. And quartz crystals give you more energy. They turn you up. That's why you see them wrapped in copper, because copper is
a conductor.
Right. It's a conductor, and wrapped around the crystals is a projector. So whatever the crystal does, the copper amplifies it. And this crystal can go with any other crystal because quartz is an amplifier too. But let me see. I wrote a book about crystals.
Oh, we can't see it.
Hold on. Let me get my camera ready. I just got to stay still for a sec and see if it comes up. Come on. Is it this way? Come on, damn camera.
Here it comes in and out.
In and darn out. Let me see if there's a background where y'all can actually see the darn books. Let's see. How about that?
Now it's blurry.
Now that's blurry. Hold on, y'all. We gon' get it.
We gonna get it. We gonna get it.
How about the brick wall?
No,
Come on, it's
now
right
it's
in
a
front of
brick
the
wall.
camera. It's right in front of the dang camera. All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, mommy said post the link for the book in the chat if it's available for purchase.
That's what I can do. Here it is, y'all.
Real crystals and
See,
gems.
crystals and gems.
Yeah.
And my writing name is Serket Amin Ra. Amin Ray. Sorry. I actually had a Royal Queen's Wellness Center just before COVID came.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I shut it down, but I'm actually in the space of looking for some other place. Like, I'm not like actively looking, but if I find something, I'm really looking for a donated space because I can use that as a universal minister. I'm trying to get, you know how churches have these big halls of spaces and whatnot, and a lot of the yoga centers are actually inside of the Catholic churches spaces, because they have the big ass spaces here in Baltimore. Their churches take up blocks, you know, so they do have space. Yes, between rounds. Thanks for remembering. I don't really even say it too much, but let me go ahead, talk to him for a minute, Yami, and let me get the link real quick off of Amazon.
Okay.
I wrote like 14 books, y'all.
Yeah. So yeah, I could learn a lot from Tanya.
We can learn a lot from each other.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
That's a fact.
Definitely.
But yeah, I can definitely show you how to get it on with these books.
Yeah.
Being a self-publisher is not that easy.
Right, because you have to get like a first you have to know what you're gonna write about, and then you have to
it's just
gonna sell it.
Consistent and doing it. I wrote my first book in my iPhone notepad, riding the bus to work for about 9 months. Then I just emailed myself all of the pages after I was done and compiled it, you know, everything from scratch, and created a book and loaded it up on Amazon.
That's dope. That's really dope.
Thank y'all.
Yeah.
I have to threaten my family members to purchase copies.
No, they're supposed to be lined up. Like, they're just so horrible that you have to,
right?
you have to threaten them and bribe your family members to support you. That's horrible.
It's definitely the crab in the barrel situation.
Right.
Let's take a trip over here real quick to Amazon right quick, y'all.
Yeah, they don't want to see you thriving. They don't want to see
it's a hurting feeling at first, but when you don't know, when you know who you are, you're prepared for it. You get prepared for it.
Right.
At Momise, oh, thank you. It's really can be done. Like, if you wanted to do this, it can be done. It's not hard at all. You just gotta commit to writing down the information you want to portray, and you always got to have somebody look over it to edit it, you know.
Right.
And it's I've had my little sister do it. It's just me and my sister, and so I said, well, if you want me to list your name on the book, you need to do something. So I let her do what you call spell check or whatever, going through, just reading through, making sure I got everything. And then I put her name there. Can y'all see? Let me see. Add to the stage, girl. Okay, this is the crystal book that I was telling y'all about. That it is for purchase. If you have Kindle Unlimited, you know how you can read it for free, or it's $4.99 to buy, and the paperback is $15. When you order it from here, it gets shipped right directly to you, and all the information. I give you information about what crystals not to use, because some crystals charge water and stuff like that, but some crystals will make you sick as a dog if you drink the water. And so I dedicated a chapter to what not to do.
Okay.
And yeah. Let me see. So that's that. Oh, did I get the link? Nope, gotta get the link. That's why I went there. Okay. Put the link. Ooh, that's a long link. Holy crap, y'all. Look at the link. Ha! That's incredible. But yeah, click on that. It goes right to the book. I gotta find a way to shorten that link. That's crazy.
Yeah, you should be able to do that. Like, and
yeah, you would think. So let me see. I went through a little phase of author names. Who did I want to be? But this is me. I wrote this book for my mother. It's a true story, and it's off the damn chain. It's called The Goddess of Seven Secrets. Our Ancestors Are in Us. So this is a fiction book I wrote, which is really good to me anyway. Innocent Evil. Bad things happen to good people. Wow. Misty Blues. And this takes place in New York City. This is my novel, Amazing Grace. It's my life story, which is pretty interesting, I think. This is a book of affirmations and poems of divinity that I wrote. It's called Whispers of Divinity. And I wrote a chapter on how to create personal power and how to activate your personal power. And that's my gems book. And this is a young lady that I know. Her name is the same as mine, Tanya Alston. She is a CEO in Washington. And yeah, we have the same exact name. So when you Google me, a lot of her stuff pops up too. This is my first book, Seasons Change, Nothing Stays the Same, The Gift. And so the gift is how I've always been able to see stuff or get a message before something happens. So this is like off the chain, that some things that I was told to do right in the nick of time to save my life. This is the promise. Move from faith to healing to the promise. And I was a Christian when I wrote this book, so y'all might not be interested. But it really is a lot of universal truth. Because I literally wrote myself right out of Christianity. Like I studied myself right out of there. And then I had some other clues and stuff that helped me get up out of it. Yes, between rounds said, yes, thank you for your time. We kind of deviated from the topic, but thank you for letting me share that.
Just real quick.
Yes.
Let's do some promotion.
I have a surprise that I'm not going to tell y'all yet, but I'm going to get you excited because I have the ultimate surprise.
Okay.
Coming up real soon. It has to do with books. And
nice.
Doing something really important there. But yeah, when it's done, then I'm going to show it to the Scarberians first. So tonight, we have part 2 of this Karen situation. In part 1, we talked about how she wasn't scared of the Black woman. Let's just put any more in there because they have a history of always having this fear of our retribution towards them. Now in part 2 is what's Karen's problem with the Black woman. So in thinking about the content for tonight, I was led to a video that talks about, it's a woman that gives her testimony about what happened to her in the Vatican. It's a YouTube video, so being that I can't like just show the content, we're going to listen to the audio, which is what's important, but I will show what she looks like, and then we'll listen to the audio. But the story is, it confirms all of our conspiracies that we said that they was guilty of doing. Guilty. That was the hammer.
Right.
So let's listen to the story. We'll do commentary, and y'all definitely blow up the chat because you're gonna be like, holy crap. Yeah. Let's get to it.
Okay.
Let me know if y'all can hear this.
Can easily murder after brutalizing the children. They like to chop up body parts, throw them in the water for the sharks. There are rituals that are called the ninth circle. Ninth circle referring to Dante's level of hell. Popes attend these. Popes attend the rituals I saw. They go on these boats for those rituals. They're completely complicit. There's a lot of symbolism for those who have eyes to see in the Vatican that shows you what I'm saying is true. So anyway, there were abilities that I had that were enhanced. They train children through trauma. It's called trauma-based mind control. The Nazis had perfected this into a science. Then if you look up Project Paperclip, those scientists at the end of the war were brought to America. That's when the CIA began with their MK Ultra program, which was discovered and is out there as a fact, except they lie and say it was just the use of LSD and isolation, but they're omitting the things I just mentioned, which are part of it. And the point of it is that if you torture someone, you fragment the psyche, and then they take those fragments and they program in alters. So they program into people certain abilities, like this is how they make spies, super soldiers, honeypots, being able to do telekinesis, astral travel. They program psychic abilities into.
In saying that, they also be trying to have their eyes on our children that got gifts. So that's why we gotta keep our children close. Yeah.
Children, so that then they can be used to do a lot of different functions, but so there's certain triggers that will bring in an alter to do a task, but then the person doesn't remember it because their front alter, it's all very dissociated. So this is, of course, done deliberately. So that's just a little bit of that. I was able to get out when I was 18. I was in Italy at the time. I came to the United States. I changed my name. I got several degrees in psychology. I ended up working with people with trauma, initially within places like prisons, inner cities, things like that. Eventually, some of the memories that I had suppressed began to just bubble up and come out. So I did a deep dive in healing work. And then some years after that, I decided to start speaking out because this still happens to children today. There are about 3 million children a year that go missing.
That's too many. That's too many. It's too many. Too many. Fucking many.
AKA curses. What did
And let's not forget that they have women that are breeding
So
children
thank you very much for having me.
who are undocumented. They don't have any papers.
Yes,
And they're
and
specifically used for trafficking and sacrifices and all of that.
yes,
So
while I have it
that
paused.
3 million, it could be like 6 million.
While I have it paused. Welcome to I saw, what is it, Ronnie?
Ronnie Dwight.
Yes.
Peace, Ronnie Dwight.
Welcome. Yes, we are listening to a testimony of someone that went through all the stuff that we suspect.
I do interviews because it is important for everyone on the planet to understand what actually goes on behind the scenes. Because we do have the power to end it, but the first step is, of course, awareness. I myself have been the victim of, I know there's certain words I can't say, so let's see how to say this.
Okay.
Child transportation being given as a party favor out. Torture. I was taken repeatedly to an underground facility in Rome. It did connect it with a tunnel underneath. There was a sort of like a magnetic train. It connected to the subterranean levels of the Vatican. So in the facility, I was put through many things, electric shock, isolation, extreme temperatures, like I would be put in a freezer. I had to witness the brutalization of animals and other children, including babies and adults. I was violated repeatedly. I know I can't say that word, the R word.
You're doing incredibly well, man.
Did your teenager develop depression, anxiety, or eating disorders after becoming addicted to social media platforms? A global settlement may become...
While we have a moment, OMG, y'all. Y'all heard that? OMG, y'all. Now, let's answer a question. At Between Rounds TV says, most indubitably for president. Oh, Cloud Bops, yes. Hello, welcome.
Peace,
Welcome,
Izzy.
welcome. Gunshot
Thank
naughty,
you for
yeah.
stopping by.
Oh, I turned it down.
Ooh, you got
Turn. One more time. Yes. Peace and love. We getting down to some mysteries today. We solving all this crap. Y'all are not gonna keep focusing on us because y'all got bigger fish to fry, which is the thing here. Their own people, okay, is
their
doing
own counterpart
today.
because
Exactly the same kind of torture tactics that they use on other races, they are experiencing and have been since this religion began. Because remember, it's not really a religion, it's an offshoot because they were in Egypt trying to live like them. That's why the Vatican has all of these subtunnels and this and that. All of the pyramids have subtunnels and this and that, but they had a purpose for their stuff and it wasn't satanic. And we got some more information, but let's finish going through this information. How y'all feel out there? Y'all enjoyed the information so far? Because it's gonna get off the chain.
Yeah.
I'm checking to make sure they don't come and try to throw us off. Wayno! Hey, gunshot now. Where's the gunshot now? Hey! Peace and love, Wayno, the general. You already know. Okay, we got everybody. Yami.
I believe so.
Cloud Bobs, yes.
We got Cloud.
Gilbert Howell, hey, thank you.
Yeah, Gilberto.
Where is my... Bam. Welcome. Where the information.
Yes.
Flow. Let's get back to the young lady. I wrote a question. I'm going to be like posing some questions in the chat so I don't forget. I'll just put them there.
What's her name? What's the YouTube?
Okay. This is, we must give them credit, Sean Atwood, the official Sean Atwood, and it's SHAUN Atwood, ATTWOOD. And I will go ahead and put this link in the chat because it is a YouTube video for y'all to think later. So, okay, so
And
there's
the
some
young lady, she put her
questions
name.
that I want to post. Did she say her name? Max Lovin?
Max Lovin.
Believe that's the name. Unless, yeah, because this ain't Sean Atwood. This is somebody that he has on his
Could be
channel.
that's her.
But
That's
you'll
her
see it when you
AKA.
go. Huh?
It has to be her AKA because she can't put her real name out. She said
Right.
she
Yeah, she's a
not
therapist and
identity.
whatnot. But you can that's the link to the video for the receipts.
Okay.
At Gilberto Howell Jr. had said, salute Scarberian Queens at Tiny 23 Experience and Yami Bula. Congratulations to you on publishing your books, sis at Tanya 23. I enjoy reading, sharpening my mindset and vocabulary. Thank you so very much.
Yes.
It was a personal journey of commitment to myself. In 2014, I did a lot of stuff. I started an organic skincare company. I'm a notary and I expanded that. And then I wrote, I started writing books. And yeah, when I got to that point in life, I was 40 something. And I just said, no, I got to do me. So leave a legacy. And because once you do these things, you get in the Library of Congress. And even if they mess up the world, you'll be found on some kind of data disk at Cloudbox at Yami Bula, Yami. And we got between rounds, word up at Mo Means. Yes, keep it going. We need this food for thought. Excellent. All right. We got Yami, Mo Means. Let's get back to the info.
Okay.
Boom.
Levin's Head, I've experienced things like that. And then I was also taken to
She was talking about the show on Netflix for the kids, Stranger Things, where they had these apparatuses on their heads, and they do the mind testing and all of that stuff. Yeah. Allegedly, it was said that Epstein was getting some kids for that too. But let's go.
This room that's well below the Vatican, so people seem to think it's where there's tombs. No, it's well under there. And in that room, I have witnessed babies and small children be sacrificed. There would be a ritual. There would be what you can call elites in attendance. The child is brutalized and then cut from here down with a very special ceremonial knife. There are chalices, the blood is collected, it is drank. This has a name which I can't say on air. It starts with A. And in these rituals, they are devoted to Lucifer. The Vatican is Luciferian, although they pretend to be Christian on the surface. I was taken to and put through many
They are the lead church of all churches, and every Black church is an offshoot of this because they started the religion and they use the same book. So Black people, what are we really doing here?
You're in the Vatican?
Holy moly.
Yes, those are mine.
You have a scripture to share as into after we get through this, Yami's going to share a scripture that also talks about why Black people are in such a tivy, but that curse of ham crap, bull crap.
Satanic rituals, some in the Vatican, some outside at different people's, very wealthy people's mansions. So some might look like a black tie ball, kind of like Eyes Wide Shut, what they portrayed in that movie, except they didn't show the children being brought in. Some would be on grounds, and they were the hunting parties. So you went and hid ran and hid in the woods or in the brush and they had a lot of fun hunting the children. There would always be the sacrifice of at least one at the end of these parties.
Is that where we got the game? When I moved to upstate New York from the Bronx, New York, they used to play a game where the kids would run in the woods and we get chased. But it wasn't like, it was a innocent type of thing, like the game we used to play or whatever. But off the chain. And I'm wondering, is that where we got it from? Like, are we practicing this crazy shit, y'all?
Yeah, it sounds like the Hunger Games to me. Did you see that movie?
The beginnings of Catch and Kiss.
Yeah. Well, no.
Where did we get this shit from? Like all of the songs that they had for the kids were all nasty and whatnot, and we didn't know Disney and shit, but check it out.
I have witnessed platters being brought out where the meat is a cooked baby. They eat flesh, they drink blood. They enjoy torture, they enjoy the most brutal types of things that they can do, things that I probably won't even share because it might traumatize the viewers. There are certain rituals that are done on boats, yachts, that are in the water because the law says there's a different law in water. And so they can easily murder after brutalizing the children. They like to chop up body parts, throw them in the water for the sharks. There are rituals that are called the ninth circle. Ninth circle referring to Dante's level of hell. Popes attend these. Popes attend the rituals I saw. They go on these boats for those rituals. They're completely complicit. There's a lot of symbolism for those who have eyes to see in the Vatican that shows you what I'm saying is true. So anyway, there were abilities that I had that were enhanced. They train children through trauma. It's called trauma-based mind control. The Nazis had perfected this into a science. Then if you look up Project Paperclip, those scientists at the end of the war were brought to America. That's when the CIA began with their MK Ultra program, which was discovered and is out there as a fact, except they lie and say it was just the use of LSD and isolation, but they're omitting the things I just mentioned, which are part of it. And the point of it is that if you torture someone, you fragment the psyche, and then they take those fragments and they program in alters. So they program into people certain abilities, like this is how they make spies, super soldiers, honeypots, being able to do telekinesis, astral travel. They program psychic abilities into children so that then they can be used to do a lot of different functions. But so there's certain triggers that will bring in an alter to do a task, but then the person doesn't remember it because their front alter, it's all very dissociated. So this is, of course, done deliberately. So that's just a little bit of that. I was able to get out when I was 18. I was in Italy at the time. I came to the United States. I changed my name. I got several degrees in psychology. I ended up working with people with trauma, initially within places like prisons, inner cities, things like that. Eventually, some of the memories that I had suppressed began to just bubble up and come out. So I did a deep dive in healing work. And then some years after that, I decided to start speaking out because this still happens to children today. There are about 3 million children a year that go missing, and they're being used in these ways. And I should mention that the Jesuits have worked closely with Mengele. So the Jesuits are mind control experts. The Vatican is kind of, as you were telling me earlier, the Vatican is its own city-state, and that's correct. They're the mind control arm of the global cult.
Okay.
So the Jesuits are one of the most evil people on earth, by the way. And they actually have facilities where they breed children to raise them in these facilities to do these. So in the Stranger Things show, the character 11 was a good example of a child that was bred. Children are also brought in there by their families. They're also kidnapped in various ways. So there's a variety of ways they get children, but some of them they actually breed. And that in that show showed that very well. And that's why when she left, she didn't know a lot about the world. There are actually children that are bred and raised underground and don't ever come up to the surface. It's terrible. So anyway, that's a little bit about me.
It was a lot of harrowing information, Max. And I just want to say, everything you're saying, the elites, the religions, the people of power, I'm fully invested in the reality of all of this. The cabal, however you want to summarize it. And hearing just a touch of your story, people are going to be, people always want to know who, right? It's always about the names and who's responsible and the pound of flesh. But the reality of all of that isn't as simple for survivors. And there is a lot of people who, do you mind me just asking you some questions about some of the things that have gone on? Because a lot of people always say, well, how do these survivors survive? And there is a legacy to some of these individuals where they want to see the fruits of their labor out in the world to see just what comes of them. It's a twisted state. And when you discuss the hunts, I've had discussions with a few individuals who've gone through these things, and they mentioned kill switches that can be installed, and you'd mentioned altars and things like this that are being brought forward. Have you had any experience where people have been programmed to, unalive themselves on a switch?
I had, I know I can't say the S word, but I had unalived programming put in me that would be triggered if I ever spoke out. So the first time I spoke out was to a therapist, and it immediately opened it. It was extremely powerful. I would actually drive to a train station near my house, go up onto the platform. It was this huge impulse, this voice in me that would say, jump, 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 and the trains would pass by, and somehow I would keep my feet glued to the platform and not. And then at some point, I would be able to tear myself away and drive back home. And this happened repeatedly for a couple of years. But I learned to discern what was a program in me and what was my own thought. And I knew that that was a program. And even so, it was extremely difficult to conquer. I did. So this is absolutely true.
Let me ask,
go ahead.
Because you mentioned abilities and forcing certain things that, I'm sure you're the same, that you would agree that a lot of these gifts are within everyone. Yes. And if evildoers can figure out a way of pulling them out and forcing them, that's one thing. Did you notice any correlation between individuals who had a better success with accessing those gifts and being able to fight the programming compared to someone who wasn't as successful with those gifts, and those sort of unaliving switches being more effective?
Yeah, I've thought about that a lot. I do believe that one factor is the soul of the person. I have had a memory pre-incarnation of being at a sort of a meeting and discussing the earth and how it was overtaken by these dark forces. And I remember volunteering to incarnate here.
Okay.
so to speak, behind enemy lines. Because when you're outside, you can't interfere, but you can incarnate and then try and expose things from the inside. So that was my sense, that I chose to incarnate where I did, so that, and I knew I would survive and be able then to use that experience to expose it, because, you know, it's us survivors that I think are going to end this by all the exposure we're, you know, all the things we're revealing. So I think one factor is the soul. Another factor is, you know, many children perish. And so they don't care. They're looking for the ones that are strong enough to survive, because then they can be much more useful. And then if you think about it, if you survive, it's like if you become a black belt in a martial art, you know, eventually all that training makes you kind of a super weapon or a superhuman. So I liken this to back in the Olympic times, when the Chinese or the Soviet athletes would win all the medals, because those kids were taken like by age 2 and super trained in their athletic ability. So they became at a higher level.
Yeah.
So basically you either rise to the occasion or you perish. That's pretty much the choice, right? So
Right.
they don't care how many children perish. Then they make good use of the ones that have the strength to survive what they put us through.
Yeah, it's a crazy thought process to imagine who's strong enough to survive the mental torture, the fragmentation of the brain, the desensitization, the forced everything, the traumas, all of it. And
yeah, I want to say something about that. You know, they call it when the person is so stressed, you dissociate, and they call it dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah.
But it's not a disorder. It's actually a very clever coping mechanism. So that's how we survive all of that, because you dissociate it and put it away so that you can keep going. And then later, at some point, it comes back when you're an adult and you can handle it.
I speak a lot about how I think those who use ritualistic and this horrific ongoing trauma of children, they have weaponized DID. Because when a survivor who's in, 20 years after all this has happened, has got a medical file this thick and tries to get legal help and all the rest of it, they use this as a reason for, hey, listen, hey, I know she's got all this evidence, but hey, you might want to take this with a pinch of salt, right? It's so evil, and it's so far gone, the level of evil, to perfect that level of weaponizing this. Because exactly what you said, it is for survival. A lot of people we don't often mention that. It is to save the current mindset from this hideous world. And can you just talk a little bit about how people handle that as survivors when it comes to coming to terms with not only what they've been through, but now what they face with DID?
The hardest part of creating content on the go is always the editing process, specifically the voiceovers.
Also,
It's really
Anything or any of these things.
for the sake of time,
Yeah, 100%. So these are sort of my relatable data point entries when it comes to residual stuff. And I just wanted to ask you about that, because a lot of people in my circles believe the same as you and I, Max, and that there is a lot of wonder to our DNA that is off-world, it's on-world, and there's a lot of things that we don't get told. I'm sure Admiral Byrd, if he was still here and alive with us today, would have a few things to say about that ice wall and the last trip ever to that region of the world. It's not out of the realm of possibilities that humanity is getting to the point where it's laughable to think we got to where we are without anything interfering. You know what I'm saying? So let's circle back to the process of these individuals. You talked a little bit about farming, you talked about missing children, all of this. I've often said there's nothing better for evil than a natural disaster in a third world country. You know what I'm saying? Once you have all of these already partially documented individuals, now parents and infrastructures are gone, there's a lot of that. in your sadly in your experience, where were these children coming from? Like, was it mixing and matching? And again, I hate to break this down in such a way for you, but did you see different individuals facilitate different types of
Children.
sourcing these kids? So was there street grabbers? Was there people that dealt with the families that were totally cool with all of this and wanted their kids to just be used by these monsters? And if so, how broad and widespread is the network?
Well, the network is global, so it's everywhere. It's infiltrated. Governments of countries are the lowest rung on the hierarchy of this global network. And presidents, by the way, prime ministers, heads of state, they don't actually have any real power. They're puppets. They're actors on a stage, doing the bidding of the levels of the hierarchy above them. So to answer your question, so some children, like I said, are bred in these facilities. The Jesuits do this a lot. They will create an embryo, they will enhance it, and they will implant it into captive women. So in Stranger Things, and towards the end, they had a scene where they showed all these pregnant women strapped down. That is real.
Let me ask you, are they seen as the higher investment or the low? So are they produced for regular fodder, or are those the ones who are investing in development?
They're just a womb.
They're just a womb. Okay.
Yeah. So, for example, children are bred. They're implanted into captive women who are just a womb, and then when the woman gives birth to the infant, they are actually sacrificed.
Okay.
So that's one level of how they get children.
Okay.
Another level is through Child Protective Services, foster care system. Medical kidnapping, which is pretty popular now. So they will bring in.
Ow! We killing them! Let's go! Take care of the babies, man, because they cannot get caught up in no kind of systems. Oh my gosh. I believe that it's in every state, and it is certainly a global situation, and they definitely over there in these other countries doing grabs of children.
If it's global, it's everywhere.
Yes. In our hoods, everywhere. Yes. Oh man. And it's crazy because they got other people that will help steal people off of the streets.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, niggas in the hood is stealing people and selling people too.
Right.
It's crazy.
And we talk about niggas being confidential informants. Niggas is working for the Jesuits.
Yes.
Stealing babies.
Oh my goodness.
Y'all,
for the sake of time, it's 10:27, so you know where we going. Check it. I want y'all to see this clip real fast. We're gonna close out with this nonsense here, y'all. This is what goes on in the government.
What she said about Stranger Things. She said that there was females pregnant lined up. I swear to you, there was like the ending episode, like the last episode.
People were saying whoever's writing this is so on point. Maybe they should be investigated. Do they got the kids because they know so much like what's going on? But this is active. Like if they were to go in there with search warrants and shut shit down and go down in there like they would if it was a drug trafficking facility, it is. It's a child trafficking facility, the Vatican, y'all.
Right.
That entire religion need to go, and plus they did force and murder people and make them worship their God. And here is the proof that religion, they're not directing it at Christianity, but it does have a lot of satanic tendencies to it. Let's check this out.
Satanic holiday display at the state capitol has a lot of people talking. The group behind it says it's all about the First Amendment and bringing joy to the community.
But others say that it's downright offensive, and somebody even knocked it over and vandalized it. Fox 9's Mike Manzoni live in St. Paul tonight, and others also blaming Governor Walz for this display. Mike?
Yeah, but the governor actually has nothing to do with this, and his office says he doesn't support it. Inside the Minnesota State Capitol, just across the hall from the Christmas tree, you'll find this phoenix made out of paper. The elaborate display features a hanging pentagram and several small cranes. A group called Minnesota Satanists put it up, and not everyone's happy about it.
The message that they're sending is quite literally to hell with the sacred.
Republican State Representative Walter Hudson finds the whole thing offensive, especially during the holidays.
You have a intentionally profane display, very obviously intended to thumb a nose at those of us who are celebrating our holiest days.
But Hudson isn't alone. Republican Congressman Tom Emmer asked on social media, is there anything Tim Walz won't do?
Go back a little bit. Did you see the symbols on right there. You see that? That's the moon. That's the moon and the stars right there. That's the face of the moon.
It's just basically the phases, the phases of the moon and stars.
Yeah.
Now this symbol here, let's go back. This symbol here is not what they think it is, because they're saying satanic, but this is a symbol of Heru. If this is an eagle, looks like even the phoenix. The phoenix is So we know about this symbol in ancient Kemet. Now this symbol, they took it like all the other symbols. You know, the swastika was a symbol for the sun. It was a symbol that represented the sun in the beginning.
Right.
They took it and represented it as something satanic. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-pointed star. 5-pointed stars was adapted by Satanism, but 5-pointed stars did not represent that. It represent the goddess Isis or Set. Yeah. All of this, everything they know, they went into Egypt, and then they you know how we say they bit everything and put their symbol. But ain't it crazy that state, this happened in Minnesota too, and this happened in 2024. So after they coronated their courthouse, all hell broke loose. But it's all about intention. So they did take these symbols and use them for evil,
right?
Which is the price they got to pay from the ancestors as well.
Right.
It seems that they are allowed to roam around the earth doing whatever it is they want to do. You know, but as they say, stay tuned, y'all. We're gonna see. Are y'all interested in a part 3? Because we have
we didn't even get to speak like that. We was listening to
the. I see the chat. The Jesuits are the military arm of the Catholic Church, absolutely, and they have been known to be the evilest arm. The Firebird said Moniz.
Yes.
That's the Phoenix. Yep. At Between Rounds TV, they say the Morning Star is They change everything around. Baphomet, all of our symbols. The swastika definitely was a sun symbol. Cloud Pop says, of course. Yeah, so y'all are interested. Let me know. Because there's other things that we can pull together too, if you know, but this blew the lid off of them. If it was for me, they would be done in my life. And I would strap my children down, and we got to hold the children down. They're trying to keep
we have to.
They're trying to keep us distracted so they could come after the children.
All the time. All the time. All of this fuckery going on. I don't give a fuck about a Jim Jones or any of this black news.
You tell them, Yami.
I don't give a fuck about none of that shit. You hear
Yes,
me?
because for all I know, they down with it. What the hell? We in 2020.
You know they are.
Come out and make a song talking about the COKE wave. Like, you're not grabbing Iceland.
You know, I know. Listen, I have a feeling Max he's like, yeah, put my name down in blood.
Something ain't right.
Money with Jim Jones. Jim Jones was stealing all my money.
He's desperate. His number's about to come up in gematria or something. He about to get that flag. What you call it? Because once you sell that soul for that Happy Meal, it's a wrap.
That's it. It's a
it's no secret that these religions are up to no good. And it's not just Christianity, because they all link together. You know, they got another group of people that has to, it's just wild. It's wild. And we just got to get it together and focus. And now we know it's all about the kids. Yeah, sub is live. All right. So we about to head over there. And then we'll be on over there. And let's continue. Y'all see, we really at war. We learn
definitely at war.
Yes, we learn from sub. We come over here and we break down the receipts. That's great.
Most definitely.
Peace and love, y'all. All three of the Abrahamic religions. You're darn right, Moniz. That's a fact. You're better off looking inside yourself and creating yourself over and being the person that you want to be. That is a challenge. It's a lifelong challenge. We got enough doing that. We don't need to pay nobody with their hands out. We don't need to do none of that. Invest in yourself, your family, and just and if you don't want to do that, just save. Because you could get addicted to saving, start to gather like dry beans and stuff. Like, we'll tell you how to cook them. You just soak them for a while, you clean them, soak them overnight, and then you can cook them the next day. And a pot of beans will last you a few days depending on how you eat and how many people, but it's a meal that you can make for under $15. Get a bag of brown rice and get busy. They have this thing in the religion called Lent, which I believe they stole that from Kemet as well, because they didn't invent anything. Not even
hell no, they didn't invent
it. None of their deities, they didn't invent none of that. They looked at ours and they said, "Oh, I want to be that." Right. And go pose your little shriveled up ding-a-ling up there. Pause. All lay pictures got them little peanuts and little ding-a-ling bombs up the child. The museums is off the chain.
Yeah, they are.
Between Round said, if you're going to believe in something, why not believe in me? Self. That's right. Daddy Rich from Car Wash. Absolutely.
All
Let's
right.
get over the sub. All power is inside of us. We just got to access it. Salute. We're going to access it.
Salute everyone.
Yeah. Get ready to access y'all superpowers. Peace and love. Because we at war.
Peace and love, family.
Gotta save the children. Ronnie Dwight. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah. It's for the healers. It's for the thinkers. It's for the men and women trying to love again. Scarberian Queens. Tanya 23 experience. Yummy Bula, let's talk. Scarberian Queens, we bringing truth to the scene. Not just opinions, we building solutions and dreams. From pain to purpose, we breaking old routines. Trying to heal black love, men and women in between. Scarberian Queens, let the ancestors speak. Motherly laws bring the village back to the streets. We ain't here to fight, we here to teach and to reach where we can rise together, soul to soul, heart to beat. It's the Tanya 23 experience, voice of the mothers, trying to stop us from seeing each other as enemies, brothers. Some of us hurt, some of us tired, some of us only know some survival, not desire. I seen mamas cry, I seen aunties pray, I seen grandmas hold the family together every day. So why we forget where the love come from? Why we treat each other like we already done? We here to remind you, not judge your pain, not point fingers but break them chains. Men need nurture, women need respect, and both need healing, not toxic effects. Scarberian queens, we bringing truth to the scene, not just opinions, we building solutions and dreams. From pain to purpose, yeah, we breaking old routines, trying to heal black love, men and women in between. Scarberian queens, let the ancestors speak. Motherly laws bring the village back to the streets. We ain't here to fight, we here to teach and to reach where we can rise together, soul to soul, hard to beat, yeah.